Good morning, everyone. We continue here in the words of the RAMBAM, Hilchos Talmud Torah, Perek Vav. Today is Halacha Hey and Vav, 5 and 6. And the RAMBAM continues to speak about the great honor and accord that you must give to Talmidei Chachamim. Shleisha shayu mahalchim b'derech. 3 people are walking along the way. Harav be'emsa, the Rabbi is going to stand in the middle. Gadol miyamino, the greater one of these students or disciples will stand to his right. Katan mismailai, and the one that is smaller, perhaps less, with less wisdom, less chachma himself, not as great of a sage, he's going to stand on the left. So the Rav is in the middle always. He will be the one that the honor is coming to. Halacha vav haraya chacham, when you see a Talmid Chacham, you don't have to stand up for him until he reaches your 4 cubits. And once he walks past you, you're allowed to sit. So he walks into the room, but he's far away, until he actually gets within your dalet amais, your 4 cubits of existence. You don't have to stand up. And the moment that he leaves you, you're allowed to sit down at that point. Says the RAMBAM, Re'ei of Bezdin. Let's say you see the Av Bezdin, which is the head of the Bezdin, the head of the Jewish court. From the moment that you see him, mirachok, from far away, whatever your eye could see, you have to stand up already. So if he walks into the room and you can see him already, you're obligated to stand up. But you cannot sit down after he walks, until he walks past you, Dalet Amos, 4 cubits. Reyes Nasi. Let's say you see the Nasi. Now the Nasi would be considered the greatest sage of the generation. The Rambam learns elsewhere, the Nasi was the one who would, so to speak, take the place of Moshe Rabbeinu in that generation, meaning he would be considered the leader of the nation. So when you see a Nasi, when you see this great leader of the Jewish people walk in, so as far as your eye can see, you're obligated to stand up for him. But you cannot sit until the Nasi, this great sage, actually goes and sits down in his own place. Or at least he walks far enough that you can no longer see him. And if you have a Nasi, you have this great sage who wants to be meichli, wants to forgo his honor can be forgiven, which means then you would not be obligated to do all of this. When a Nasi enters into the room, everybody that's there has to stand up. And you cannot sit until he tells you sit. So this seems to be another way in which the Nasi, the sage, walks in. I guess one is where he's walking in without making his presence known all at once. And the other one over here is where he's making his presence known all at once. So you stand up immediately and you can't sit until he allows you to sit. When the head of the Bezdin enters, you make 2 lines. One stands over here, one stands over there, until he enters in. And he sits in his place. And then the rest of the people there, they sit in their place as well. So the Rambam is continuing to instill upon us, impress upon us, just how important the Kavod HaTorah is, that one must give to his Rebbeim, that one must give to the great Talmidei Chachamim of the generation, the heads of the Bezdin and the Nasi. We don't have a Nasi really in our generation, but if we would, so these halachas would apply as well. Have a wonderful day.